Last night, Daniel McCutcheon led the way as the Pirates pitching staff continued their great run in front of a boisterous crowd at PNC Park. Tonight, the Pirates look to make it 3 wins in a row and 4 of their last 5. The Bucco Hurlers look to shut down their cross-state rival, the Philadelphia Phillies, next on FSN. What a way to start the holiday weekend. Boats, barbecue, and baseball. Pirates fans certainly know what tailgating is all about, and they've rolled out the good stuff on Ice Cream Bowl night tonight at PNC Park, as the Pirates get set to host the Philadelphia Phillies in Game 2 of a 4-game series. Hi again, everybody. Along with Steve Blass, I'm Tim Neverett. Good matchup for you again tonight, and another nail-biter last night, but the Pirates prevailed. They got some pretty good pitching out of it.
They really did. A rock-solid win, Tim, last night against the Phils. They had a lot of work to do to hold on to that skinny lead, and they really did it, starting out with Daniel McCutcheon picking up his first win of the season. Really did a nice job holding the Philly batters at bay, and then Evan Meek was lights out for 2 scoreless innings. He did a terrific job. Got some big outs when he needed to. And then it was time for the closer. After that demonstration by Evan, he was pumped up, and everybody was pumped up after that call. 3rd strike by Dotel against Shane Victorino.
Dotel got his 17th save last night. Let's not forget the sacrifice bunt by Evan Meek, too, in his first Major League plate appearance. Well, the pitching matchup tonight has guys who were born in different generations. Ross Ollendorf, first of all, had a great outing on Sunday, ended up with a no decision.
Yeah, he's looking for that first win. It's been a long time. As you see on the bottom, it's been since August 18th. Done pretty good work against the Phillies, and you'd like to see him just build off that last start. He did good enough to win. Pitched very, very well against the A's.
And our PNC achiever tonight is the pitcher for the Phillies, 47-year-old Jamie Moyer. You see his numbers there. PNC for the achiever in us all.
I'll tell you one thing. It's hard not to root for Jamie Moyer. He is a class act on the mound. He's had a great career. He's been a very, very good citizen. We just hope that he waits one more night to pick up win number 10.
Well, he might be one of the older men in baseball, but one of the younger men in the big leagues. Pedro Alvarez hopes to keep it going. He has hit in 4 straight, hoping to make it 5 tonight to drive in some runs for the Buccos. Game 2 of their 4-game series. Buccos winning last night by a 3-2 score. And tonight, Charlie Manuel is back in the dugout after serving a 1-game suspension. This is the lineup that Charlie sends out there. It is brought to you by Toyota. Jimmy Rollins leading off. Raul Ibanez batting second. Jason Worth hitting third. Ryan Howard in the cleanup spot. Last 8 games against the Bucs, 13 for 30, hitting .433. Ben Francisco in the lineup. Greg Dobbs, Wilson Valdez, Stain Sardina, and Jamie Moyer, the pitcher, batting ninth.
Working against the 27-year-old big Texan, Ross Ollendorf, making his 12th start of the season, still looking for win number 1. It's been since August 18th of last year, but if he pitches like he did last Sunday against the A's, he'll come away with a lot of wins. Just 2 hits given up in 6 innings. So he's looking to get off the schneid, and he'll lead it off against Jimmy Rollins. Keep in mind, the Phillies without Chase Utley and without Placido Polanco, it makes it a whole lot easier. Not completely easy, but easier.
And a strike is called as we are underway. 77 beautiful degrees here on the North Shore.
A spectacular weekend we're looking right down the barrel at.
Well, it's going to be great. Standing room only for tomorrow night. And then, of course, Sunday, another Kids' Day.
4th of July, a regatta in town, spectacular weather. Come on down, get into town. You're going to find something great to do, and we hope it includes a visit to the ballpark.
Well, you see the white caps with the red bills on them and the logos with the stars and stripes. Teams wearing those this weekend. Rollins pops this one up, foul ground left side. Alvarez has it measured up, and there's one down. Defensively behind Ross Ollendorf, starting with the outfielders left to right. Jose Tabata in left field, Andrew McCutchen at center. Lastings Miller's the right fielder. So Alvarez make the first out of the ball game. Crosby, LaRoche at second base, and Garrett Jones at first, and Ryan Domit behind the plate catching Ross Ollendorf.
Keep in mind also, we mentioned Utley and Polanco. Shane Victorino, switch hitter, a lot of speed, spark plug. He is also absent from the Phillies lineup tonight.
He has been struggling on this road trip, and Charlie Manuel giving him a night off. It was Victorino that struck out to end the ball game last night, taking strike 3. An all-star a year ago. On this trip, 5 out of 18, and most of the contact he's made has not been solid, so that has the Phillies a little bit concerned. Strike 2 to Ibanez. And Charlie Manuel had to watch the game from one of the suites last night. Pete Mackanin was the interim skipper. There's the pitch. Strike 3 call.
It's like a fastball right on the outside corner. The Pirates got a good call on the last pitch delivered last night. Victorino was not happy as the ball game shut down, and Ibanez is not happy about this one, but it looks like it picks up that outside corner, and that's what you call a pitcher's perfecta.
Ollendorf with 2 outs, getting set to pitch to the center fielder tonight, Jason Worth. Worth was frustrated last night, striking out twice looking against Daniel McCutchen. And the right-hander deals a strike, 0-1. Just a note on the caps that the teams are wearing. Major League Baseball Properties is donating 100% of the proceeds it receives from the sale of these caps to Welcome Back Veterans, which is a program that addresses the needs of returning American veterans and their families.
So appropriate on this weekend.
And for Toronto, being a Canadian team, they do not have the stars and stripes. They've got a version of the maple leaf in the Blue Jays caps. 2-1 to Worth. 2 down, and Ollendorf's pitch. Strike 2 call.
Painted the outside corner with that fastball. 91 miles an hour. That's a nice combination. Good speed, great location.
The 2-2 to Jason Worth. Strike 3 call. A 1-2-3 inning for Ross Ollendorf, and he strikes out 2. Through a half inning, no score at PNC Park. both striking out looking. Now John Russell sends up the batting order this way. Jose Tabata leading off. Alvarez in the 2 spot. McCutchen hitting well at PNC Park. .331 with 11 doubles and 8 runs batted in. Garrett Jones, lasting Smillich, Ryan Doman, Bobby Crosby, Andy LaRoche hitting 8th, and the pitcher Ross Ollendorf bats 9th.
Well, this guy is not very big. He's real old, but he's also real good. Jamie Moyer, 267 major league wins at 47 years of age. 9-6 on the year, a couple of complete games. That should say something to the youngsters about the art of pitching. And he'll make his 16th start tonight. A couple of complete games, one of them a shutout. Home runs, somewhat of an issue for Jamie. He's given up 15. But he knows how to pitch, and his first one is in there to Jose Tabata.
Jamie Moyer, the native Pennsylvanian, born in Sellersville, went to Souderton Area High School, where he played baseball, basketball, and golf.
And you better be ready to swing the bat. 15 starts so far this year, a total of 17 walks. And that's part of a package that we'll talk about in regard to Jamie Moyer as we go along.
Tabata to right field. Then Francisco finds it for the out. Jamie Moyer's defense lines up this way, and it is brought to you by Mercedes. Ibanez, Worth, and Francisco. Dobbs at third, Rollins at short, Valdez the second baseman, Howard at first, and doing the catching Dane Sardina. Just his 4th start this season. Came in the middle of last night's game after Brian Schneider came down with a case of thrombosis. Not the official name, but had a hyperextended thumb. Yeah. Pedro Alvarez hitting in the 2 spot for the 2nd time in his life. Yesterday, prior to the game in the clubhouse, when I asked him about hitting number 2, he just kind of laughed. He said, "I've never done this." But did all right. Got a double and drove in a key run. He hits this one to the right side. That's through for a base hit.
This is probably the first left-hander that he has faced, and he's faced a bunch of them that's not a flamethrower. Jamie Moyer wins by changing speeds, by being intelligent, knowing how to pitch. As you watch Pedro pull that ball through the open area between first and second. And one of the real qualities in my mind for Jamie Moyer is the fact that when he throws a pitch, he knows what the result is, and he will base his next pitch on what he saw with what he delivered and how the batter reacted to it. He runs off that, works off that. That's part of his plan. And he's also good enough to know that he doesn't deviate from his plan.
McCutchen takes a strike.
Whereas some young pitchers will get in a panic mode if they're not getting that. He sticks with what got him here.
Well, Andrew McCutchen hoping on Sunday to find out whether or not he's made his first All-Star game or not. The online portion of the voting closed at midnight last night, so now it's just time to tabulate him, and he lines one to left field. He's got a base hit. And the Pirates, with 1 out, have runners on first and second. Ibanez made it interesting for a moment, but Alvarez unable to move up. Back-to-back singles for the Pirates.
And that's kind of a good approach for the Pirates, because when you think you've got a lot of power available to you off Jamie Moyer, you're going to be out in front so much. You've got to wait. You got to stay back. You'll take your singles, and that way you don't get tricked into swinging early, looking for the long ball, over swinging. And that's a pretty good approach. These 2 base hits, well done by Alvarez and McCutchen.
Here is Garrett Jones. Jones takes low. Jones has not faced Jamie Moyer. Yesterday was the 1-year anniversary of Garrett Jones' call-up to the Pirates. So he has been a Pirate at the big league level for 1 year and a day now. 2 on, 1 out. Here is the pitch. Strike call to Garrett, 1-1.
Jamie Moyer, 6-7 lifetime against the Bucks. He was drafted by the Cubs in 1984 in the 6th round. This is his 23rd major league season. 23rd. He's 47 years old, and he's still going strong. 9-6 this year.
Jones taps that one off his foot, more than a tap. He's feeling the pain. Well, you talked about him being drafted by the Cubs in '84. How about it took him just 2 years later to get to the big leagues? He made his major league debut on the 16th of June, 1986, and has been with the Cubs, Texas, St. Louis, Baltimore, Boston, Seattle, and now Philadelphia.
625th start.
A lot of starts. And he defies, just absolutely defies Mother Nature every time he goes out there. 1-2. And Jones leans but watches it go outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
He will subtract, he'll add, he'll change up, he'll throw a change up, he'll throw a slower change up, he'll come back with an average fastball. It'll seem like a steamroller. He just flat out knows how to pitch. And he'll get lit up, but he'll also win his share and then some.
2-2. Count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Now Garrett will be looking for something pretty good to hit.
But don't count on Jamie Moyer completely giving in to him.
Mike Estabrook calling the balls and strikes. Brian O'Nora, the crew chief, at first. Phil Cuzzy at second. And Chris Guccione's at third base. 3-2, and this one to center field. Son, a bit of a problem for Worth. He goes back on it, makes the catch. Alvarez will tag and go to third. Back to first, McCutchen. Runners on the corners with 2 down.
And he didn't give in. Garrett Jones out in front, something off speed, and Moyer gets the second out. The pitch. You see Garrett going downstairs. Pedro dancing around. He's going to have plenty of time to tag up.
Pedro tags and makes it to third. He's 90 feet away for Lasting's Millage. Over the last 13 games, Millage has gone 15 out of 42. That's a 357 clip. Hitting 272 overall. And a slow ground ball toward the shortstop Rollins. He'll throw on to first base. And Millage is out, and the Pirates will strand 2 after 2 hits. No score after 1. Half of the second inning. The good word tonight from manager John Russell on Evan Meek as an all-star, perhaps. Quote, this guy has gotten accolades from around the league. The players know him, managers know him. He's not fun to hit off. What he's done in the first half of the year, absolutely. I think he should be a shoo-in. What he's done to opposing teams, it's phenomenal. That's the good word from manager John Russell and Evan Meek out there in the bunker.
I wouldn't mind having him on my all-star team.
He's been absolutely terrific.
Mr. Ohlendorf, so far, terrific.
Facing Ryan Howard. Interesting about Ryan Howard was up until last season, he couldn't figure out the Pirates. From 2004 to 2008, he had hit 123 over 24 games. with 1 home run and 7 runs batted in. But through last year and this year, through first 9 games, he has 3 home runs, 14 runs batted in, and is hitting over 400. 4 seasons, couldn't find a hit. This time he goes down the left field line. Long run for Tabata. That ball will be foul. A long strike for Ryan Howard.
And a long run for Jose as he starts that trip from left center field. Just kept slicing, wound up being a foul ball. Not by much.
Tabata breathing a sigh of relief. So is Mr. Ohlendorf.
And Jose and Andrew still looking into that sun. Talked about it last night. They'll be gone in another inning. Jason Worth was tested. Got the job done. Fouled the ball for the catch.
1 and 2 strikes to Howard. An idea of the glare that Andrew McCutchen is looking at. The 1-2 from Ross. Got him.
Off speed, pull the string. Throw the ball around the infield. Kind of unusual to start the throw at shortstop, but that's the configuration. Nicely done. Pulls the string. Brian way out in front. When they finish that one-handed, you know how far out in front they are. Strikeout number 3, 3rd in a row.
Here's Ben Francisco, the right fielder tonight. Right off the mask. Ouch. Dolan will have to shake out the cobwebs. First, he's going to make sure that everything's okay with the mask. That's part of the job back there.
Yeah, you don't want to squat back down there with a defective mask and take a shot like that. That's you want Francisco to go to the neutral corner. We've had enough concussion business, I believe, in the ball club.
And it started with Domit this year. He had the concussion-like symptoms. He missed a few games and then went out and played first base just so he didn't have to have that happen to him again. He's okay now. Ground ball. Here's Crosby. Long throw. Got it!
Nice play. He made it look pretty easy. Made the commitment to take it on the backhand side and then threw from deep shortstop. Every pitcher likes that play. There it is on the backhand side. You really you don't have time to set yourself. You throw on the move. You hope it's strong enough and accurate enough. All those things came over to Garrett Jones at first base in good order. Nice play.
Out of Long Beach State, Bobby Crosby, and Jones finishing the play nicely. 2 men are out for the third baseman, Greg Dobbs. Foul tip into the glove for strike 1.
Keep in mind, although he didn't get a win, came away with a no decision. Excellent work by Ross last time out. As we said, 6 innings, no earned runs, just 2 hits given up against the A's. Looks like he's kind of picking up where he left off.
Well, the one thing that let him down was his arm, but not when throwing to the plate. He had an errant throw to first on a pickoff attempt, and with all of that foul ground behind first and third in Oakland, the base runner knew that he was going to get third base and did. The left field. Jose under it, and that's it. 6 straight retired by Ross Ohlendorf, and Bobby Crosby throwing his glove around, helping out his pitcher tonight. Nice play. quite yet. Starting this Sunday and going until Thursday, you can vote for the 34th and final player for each league roster. Check in on Pirates.com this Sunday to see who made the final team and who should get the 34th and final spot on each league roster. Last year, the Phillies got that guy in the National League. That was Shane Victorino, who's sitting out tonight.
Flying Hawaiian.
And he went door to door. I think it was somewhat of a publicity stunt because there were cameras following him around, but he actually went door to door in South Philly, knocked on the door, asked them to get online and vote for him. And it was,
isn't that kind of risky, knocking on the doors in South Philly?
Yeah, I would say so. You ever taken that walk up Broad Street from the ballpark?
No. Nope.
Probably not a good idea. During the day, it's all right. 2-1 to Ryan Domit. And he's out in front of that one, 2-2.
I did walk with Bob Friend, my first roommate, when he wanted to walk to the ballpark in Philly when we played at Connie Mack. That took 2 hours. We had to stop twice for sandwiches. We went the opposite direction, downtown to Connie Mack, and that wasn't the nicest neighborhood.
Strike three, looking. Domit down on strikes. As far as the National League starters go, this is unofficial right now, but this is probably what your starting lineup's going to look like, with the exception of Polanco if he's not back. Polanco injured. Hanley Ramirez certainly on the left side of the infield can hold it down. Parrott. Is he calling you again, Steve?
I don't know.
Wants to tell you about his new dreadlocks, I think. Bobby Crosby made a nice play defensively last inning. 1 for 3 last night. Swinging bunt. Moyer fields, and he has Bobby Crosby 2 away.
Old timer still quick off the mound.
It's amazing. He doesn't really want to hear all that much about his age.
It's interesting, Tim. I did an interview. We're going to play it on Greats of the Game tomorrow on the radio side as you watch him make a real nice play over Ryan Howard. I said, will you give me 5 minutes for an interview if I guarantee not to say anything about age? He says, no problem. He said, everybody else does. No problem. So we couldn't have been nicer, and we had a nice chat. And, hope you get a chance to hear it. He is articulate. He is bright. Cares about the game. He respects the game, and I think you'll enjoy hearing him.
Andy LaRoche takes outside. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And he's also, I'll give you a little preview, he's not a real big fan of more technology in the game, as in replay.
He's an old school guy.
He is.
I think you can tell by
he
his
qualifies.
socks.
He qualifies.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
He's got the old school stirrups on.
Well, he has a lot of respect for the traditions of the game.
I like that.
Been around a long time. 625th Major League start. And he's won his last 3 against some pretty good ball clubs.
Chopper to Rollins. They'll take care of the Pirates in the bottom of the second. 1, 2, 3 they go as Moyer retires the Bucks in order. University teaching you the game segment. Garrett Jones will talk about holding a runner on first base.
When right-handers are pitching, you can get off the mound a little quicker. So, you know, the right-hander decides he's going home. I take my right foot and I try to get a big
You can
step.
catch the entire tip on Sunday's Trip Total Media Pirates pregame show beginning at 1 o'clock right here on FSN Pittsburgh. Along with Steve Blass, Tim Neverett. Top of the third inning, no score. Pirates and Phillies. Come on, give me a bite, Mom.
I'll tell you, there's all kind of choices in this ballpark. You can get pretty much whatever you want, and it's good. Just ask John Wayner.
He sampled just about all of the food items here, hasn't he?
Yep.
If not 2 or 3 times. There's Wilson Valdez for the next little while in the foreseeable future. He'll be filling in for Chase Utley. Utley out for at least 2 months after thumb surgery yesterday. And Valdez
crushed a ball last night.
He did.
Crushed over the 410 sign. This guy weighs 170 pounds. All hell was he's having.
That one's high, 1-1. Valdez has been around. He has been with many different teams, including teams overseas. In the same year, he ended up playing for Kia in 2008 in the Korean League. Played 47 games there and then ended up with the Yakult Swallows in Japan for 29 games. And he hits this one deep to center field. And McCutchen will track it down on the warning track. Let's check out tonight's This Day in Pirates history, brought to you by our friends at Day Automotive. July 2nd, 1991. Gary Varsho had 3 hits, including 2 home runs and 6 runs batted in. And Spanky Mike LaValliere had 4 hits and an RBI in a 13-4 win over the Cubs at Wrigley Field. That's our This Day in Pirates history, thanks to Day Automotive. There's Varsh.
I remember that day. I was at Wrigley Field watching that. Had himself a day. Kind of a hometown guy. Grew up not too far away from Wrigley. Turned on the home team that day. Turned on them.
There's a strike to Dane Sardina. Well, we see Varsh every day, and nice that we can see Mike LaValliere during spring training. He lives in Bradenton. He'll come over to the ballpark at McKechnie Field occasionally and some of the Pirates' functions. Strike 2.
You know, you talk about pitching out in front. Just telling me from the truck that 8 for 8 first pitch strikes per at bat. Every at bat has started out with a strike.
It's a good program.
It helps. But those hitters are just a little bit defensive.
Alvarez knocks it down. No play. And the first man to reach base off of Ross Ollendorf is Dane Sardina. That'll be a base hit.
A bit of a short hop, couldn't find the handle. They also have a base runner.
Alvarez now will come in on the corner at third. Middle infield looks for 2, and they'll try to get 1 here as they play to defend the sacrifice against Jamie Moore.
He knows what he's doing in this category. He's been successful 5 times.
Moore hitting .087. .214 average against the Pirates. Right out in front, Domit will go to first and take the out there with LaRoche covering. Sacrifice goes 2-4, down to second base. Sardina with 2 down, and Jimmy Rollins coming to the plate. Rollins popped out foul and on the third base side of the first inning.
Good bunt.
Phillies are 9-1 this year when Rollins scores a run. Pirates would do best to keep him off base. There's a strike. And to give you an idea of what this team is like without him, they've missed him for a number of games this year, twice going on the disabled list. With him, they're 14-7. Without him, they're 27-29.
That's more meaningful than 9-1 when he scores a run. I really don't understand that first stat. I understand the second one, and I give that a lot of validity because he's a good baseball player. He's a very good and important part of this Phillies team.
And had been hitting in the third spot with Victorino leading off, but with Victorino out tonight, Rollins back in the leadoff spot. 2 outs, man at second, the 0-2. Inside, 1-2.
That is a very good 0-2 pitch. Just let them know you're out there. Protect your pitching room because batters at the major league level will try to protect that plate. They'll inch up every once in a while with 2 strikes, protect that outside corner. Not a bad idea every once in a while to move them away.
Ooh, got him. Ohlendorf trying to go up and in. And Jimmy Rollins is thankfully had a helmet on. He will go down to first base.
That's a little scary. I just hope it's not a direct hit. It might come off the shoulder a little bit. The way it hit, it might have, glanced off the side of the helmet to make it go. It's still scary. And every time you see it, it gets a little scarier.
Rollins appears okay. Sardina the runner at second, Jimmy Rollins at first. Here is Raul Ibanez. Loose ball swinging. Alvarez near the tarp. He makes the play. And that does it. Through 2.5, still scoreless at PNC Park. And the Phillies unable to push anything around. Ibanez flied out to end the inning. Now the Pirates will have Ross Ohlendorf leading off the bottom half of the third inning. Hope you're having a great start to your holiday weekend, no matter where you're watching us. And thanks for tuning in to Pirates Baseball. Pirates and Phillies, game 2 of a 4-game set. Pirates took game 1 last night, 3-2. Daniel McCutchen getting his first win of the 2010 season. Ohlendorf trying to do the same tonight. Ball and 1 strike.
Going back to that Jimmy Rollins situation, the reason I said that it might have just glanced off and it looked dramatic, more dramatic, because the hat really flipped. Here's the the pitch, swing and a miss. If it was more serious, I think that trainer would not have let him go down to first base so quickly. He would have spent more time with him. So I think, hopefully, and hoping I'm right, it was more of a glancing blow that had the effect of looking more dramatic because of the way that the helmet went. And hopefully that was the case, because we don't want anybody getting that kind of situation on a direct hit.
2-2, ground ball to Rollins. There is one out. A few names stir the hearts of Pirates fans like Danny Murtaugh. Recapture the feeling of the magical 1960 season in the book Whistling Irishman. Danny Murtaugh remembered, written by Danny's granddaughter, Colleen Horonchek. Colleen will be at the Trip Total Media Hall of Fame Club for a book signing as the Bucs take on the Phils this weekend. Join her tomorrow from 7 to 9 or Sunday from 1:30 to 3:30. For more information, call 1-800-5-BUCKS.
A delightful lady that has written a heartwarming story about her grandpa. One of my very special people in the game that I've ever run across, Danny Murtaugh, will be a part of my memory forever.
You know all about the Whistling Irishman.
Yep. Yeah, he had a lot of time for a kid that didn't get a big bonus.
There is the Trip Total Media Hall of Fame Club beyond the deck in left field.
A lot of fun. Stop in there. You have a good time, watch a ball game. Plenty of room to move around. Enjoy yourself. Great way to take in baseball.
Tabaton looks at one inside and low. 2-2 the count. Jose flied to right his first time up, 0 for 1.
You know, one of the great things about the win last night, Tim, it was kind of two-dimensional. The youngsters had their way and the pitchers had their way. Tabata very much involved in a subtle fashion with a lot of extended off at bats off Cole Hamels, and then was effective producing some offense. Alvarez got the big double. Swing and miss.
And he goes down on strikes this time. Pedro Alvarez coming up. Let's check our AGH sports injury update. Zach Duke through a side session today. He's been having problems with the left elbow and could begin his rehab as soon as Monday with AAA Indianapolis. Good little long toss today in the outfield. And pitching coach Joe Kerrigan had him in the bullpen, working on throwing from the stretch. And he appears as though he could have 2 rehab stints before returning, perhaps after the All-Star break. That's tonight's injury update, brought to you by Allegheny General Hospital Sports Medicine, official medical provider of the Pittsburgh Pirates. 1-0 to Pedro Alvarez.
So that was one dimension, the youngsters, with Alvarez driving in that run. Tabata scoring one, driving in one. And the other dimension, of course, the pitching. And holding on to a 1-run lead through 4+ innings against this ball club. Impressive. It was fun, the youngsters and the pitching.
Well, we're going to see a lot of the youngsters the rest of the way this year. Daniel McCutcheon pitched his best game as a big leaguer. Certainly yesterday. Brad Lincoln, sitting next to him, did so the day before that. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pedro came up with a big hit. Had a booming double to left center field. For a moment, many thought that ball was out, but it was hit to the deepest part of the yard. Tabata scored after working a walk against Cole Hamels. Alvarez picked up his 3rd double and his 6th run batted in. Up in the air to center. Worth finds it, grabs it, and that is the out. So we're through 3 full at PNC Park, and there is no score. more on defense. In the top of the third, Jose Tabata retiring Raul Ibanez, learning the ballpark, knowing right where he was, checking it out, finds the tarp, and gets his position. The Home Depot, more saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Yeah, and the more Pedro plays third base, the more he's going to use a couple of things to find his way around the tarp and the railing. Visual and feel. You know, you look, you kind of combine them. You take your look whenever you can, but then after a while, you're going to have feel. So you get your hand on the rail, get your hand on the tarp. It helps you know where you are. You can do it with your eyes. You can do it with your hand.
Now, top of the fourth, still scoreless. Jason Worth, and a strike is called. Well, you haven't seen a radio like that in a while.
Well, we're doing a lot of old school. Right? Yep. Well, the thing is, you can get any station with that. That's not that tech stuff. That's real. You can see the waves coming through the air.
See, Greg and Bob are doing the game tonight, but I'll bet it sounds all crackly and old out of that radio.
Well, that's what you want. And that baseball, that's the ambience that you want. Right? This everything clarity and everything pure, it's overrated. You got to have some sense and feel of the atmosphere you're in.
So he's got the earphone in.
Was that? Yeah, but is that the game or music?
I'm sure it's the game.
He's keeping score. I think he's serious about it. Yep.
I love it when people keep score at the ballpark. Not enough young kids know how to do it, and I think there ought to be a class.
Yeah, and it's not hard because you can have your own style, and whatever style you have is right. The proof of the pudding, I think, is when you can pick up your scorecard in the seventh inning and go back and recreate all the action that happened in the second or third when you had a lot of stuff going on. What's wrong with that guy's ear?
He's got a Bluetooth.
I think that's an injury, isn't it?
Oh, that's a Bluetooth.
A tooth in your ear?
A Bluetooth.
Tooth?
It's technology. There's strike three, and the throw down by Doman. 2-3 goes to put out and one away.
Are you saying T-O-O-T-H? Tooth?
Yes, Bluetooth.
Why not blue ear?
Well, it's because somebody else named it.
See, that's what's the problem with technology.
Yeah, that's just technology.
Give me the man's name that named that a tooth.
Just know that Steve Blass is not wired for wireless. He still has rotary phones in his house.
See, I'm going to have to talk.
Ryan Howard up there. You still call the operator and ask for long distance?
Oh, yeah. Plenty of times on the road. Just pick it up about 3 a.m. Give me some distance.
Well, Ross Ohlendorf now 13 out of 13 in first pitch strikes. I guess listening to and following directions is not a problem for Ross Ohlendorf tonight.
Get out in front. And he would be even more efficient than he is if Alvarez was able to make that play against Sardina, extended the program.
There's the shift for Ryan Howard. Left side open. Alvarez over there, all alone on the left side. And
we did have
a Roach out in right field.
We did have a long 4-3 play last night by Andy.
Yep. Ground out to right. Here's the 2-1. 3-1. Now the battle for the Keystone State. Phillies and the Pirates don't play each other as much anymore due to realignment into 3 divisions.
That's too bad.
3-1 line drive. That's going to get down for at least one. And that will be a single, a long one for Ryan Howard. He has now reached base safely in 18 straight.
Well, all things considered, it's not all bad to keep Ryan Howard in the ballpark, in the yard.
No doubt Howard can hit.
Well, very considerate of Ben Francisco's parents to name him Ben instead of Sanford. You know how that would have been shortened.
Francisco takes outside and low. He is 0 for 1. Grounded out to Bobby Crosby in the second inning.
We want to keep him at bay, don't we?
Yes, very good.
No shame.
Yeah, he's just a bridge between Howard and Dobbs. There's a strike. And we're just in the Bay Area a week ago.
It's a pretty long hike from downtown San Francisco out to Oakland, isn't it, to play the ball game?
It is, especially in traffic. There goes Howard, and the ball fouled away. What was nice, though, is the public transportation. Bart, we would take Bart back from the ballpark. They've got a station.
Yeah.
Yep, get a station there, and you go right underneath San Francisco Bay.
Get out right by the hotel. I remember that.
Your ears feel like they want to pop until you get back out under the water again.
By the way, Ryan Howard taking off, his second steal attempt of the year. Shut down by the foul ball. He was thrown out the first time, but the big guys will take off if they think you're getting careless and you forget about them. Every once in a while, Adam Dunn will do it. We've seen him do it.
Francisco pops this one up. Garrett Jones giving it a look. It's on top of the dugout.
Easy play down there with the fans. By the way, it's stuffed this ballpark pretty well. I think we're going to be in the neighborhood of 30,000 tonight, and well over that tomorrow night. Big crowd expected on another prediction of a glorious day in Pittsburgh, where we've had 2 or 3 just dazzlers. Low humidity, just absolutely picture perfect.
Well, he got the ball, huh? Teaching him early to play defense. 1-2 to Francisco, the right fielder. Ryan Howard short lead at first, held on by Jones.
Yeah, the element of surprise is gone now. And that's the only reason he took off. He won't be doing much unless perhaps we get to a 3-2 situation.
Doma took another rocket off the mask.
Some haymakers thrown at Ryan.
That looks like a blast back there.
Relative back there? A blast?
Yeah, it looks like fun.
Yeah, it's great fun.
Throw to first base.
I thought you meant my evil twin Larry was in the background in the seats or something.
No, he's not here yet. Doma's taking 2 pretty good shots off the mask.
He just looked over in the dugout and said, "What time is it?"
1-2 to Ben Francisco. Now it's 2-2. Blocked nicely by Ryan Doman on the pitch from Ollendorf. Doman out of Moses Lake, Washington.
Kind of a nice slide block. So get over there, slide the body over, keep the glove down.
And now the 2-2 pitch to right field. Can of corn for Lastings Milledge. And they're now 2 away. Tomorrow on Inside Pirates Baseball, we'll take an inside look at Garrett Jones' action-packed first full year with the team. Plus our 1960s look back focuses on Dick Stewart. Catch all this and more inside Pirates Baseball tomorrow night at 6 on FSN. Always a great show.
You know, Tim, the art of the block by a catcher, if you can visualize a catcher having to slide to the left or slide to the right, the body slides over and you keep the glove in contact with the dirt, because if the ball comes up, it's going to hit part of your equipment, your body. So the glove is down. It can't go under the glove, and that's the whole premise. That's maybe the most important fundamental. Never have the glove high. You can't go down in time. If the ball comes up on you, you've got the body there. And it never has to be real pretty. The ball has to be out in front of you. That's the key. That's the objective. That will freeze runners. When that ball gets behind you, that's when they get real aggressive.
And it's not as though guys are, for the most part, putting balls in the dirt by accident. A lot of times that's by design, so the catcher, especially with runners on, has to be very good at making those blocks.
But out at the end of the fingers, that part of the glove, that's on the dirt. The ball cannot get under it. It has to come up into the glove or higher against the body. John Russell knows all about that, having caught a lot in the big leagues.
In fact, he caught tonight's starter for the Phillies, Jamie Moyer, when Moyer was a Texas Ranger. Down to first base. Jones will handle it.
Smother it nicely. Well done.
That does it for the Phillies in the top half of the fourth. John Russell's Pirates and his former team, the Phillies, are scoreless.
Is brought to you by Meadows Racetrack and Casino.
Well, hello back at you. It's a hair-raising night tonight, apparently. Andrew McCutchen trying to do something hair-raising here to start the bottom half of the fourth inning. No score. And McCutchen, he got a base hit in his first trip, but could not come around. He moved Alvarez around. Both hits for the Pirates coming back-to-back in the first inning.
We talked about Moyer, his last three starts, beating the Yankees, the Cleveland Indians, and the Toronto Blue Jays. Those three games totaling 23 innings, 5 earned runs. He struck out 17, walked 2.
Another base hit. 2 for 2 for Andrew McCutchen.
And you talk about the running game. Jamie Moyer's been around a long time, and he's left-handed, so he's certainly not the easiest guy to run on, I wouldn't believe. I don't know what the numbers are, but he's a veteran, and he's a left-hander. He keeps an eye on you, literally. But in this kind of a ball game, you don't know how much offense you're going to pile up. You never know what Andrew might have in mind. If you guess right, well, you got an easy steal. If you don't, you get picked off. They call it a caught stealing, but really they are picked off.
Well, McCutchen off of first, and a throw over. And you're seeing more and more first basemen these days line up off the bag even further and further. It used to be where you're always on the bag. But watch Ryan Howard and how far off the bag he gets in order to hold on McCutchen. He's a good foot. Strike called to Jones.
So, but he's also got a long enough reach where he can get back there and kind of make that backdoor tag too, in case Andrew comes in on the outfield side of first base. Guess that'd be a Gary Larson slide, the far side. We're going to keep an eye on him for sure. I don't know about the stolen base numbers, but I know he has given up 506 home runs, the most ever by a major league pitcher. And do you know how long you have to be around to give up 506?
A long time.
A lot of years.
Closing runners 89%.
A bigger mark than I would have guessed.
And how about the way he holds his leg in the air to freeze that runner?
Yep. Apparently, it's not working all that well. 8 out of 9. But, I got to believe they're just committing, and maybe they're on a roll, guessing correctly.
Strikes out Jones. Garrett is 0 for 2. Time for tonight's trivia question, brought to you by AT&T Mobility. And the question tonight has a little bit to do with home runs given up. Jamie Moyer has given up, as Steve mentioned, timing. 506.
Oh, I got my guess.
Who holds the previous record? Bob Walk?
My guess.
You think what? He wasn't around as long as Jamie Moyer.
Well, that means you've got to really give up a bunch of them in a short period of time.
If there was a telestrator on radio, see, on radio he's probably saying that you were the one whose record.
No, I know what he's saying.
Broke.
He said that Jamie Moyer and I were teammates back in '33.
Used to take trains to the ballpark on the road.
Yep.
Hastings Millage up with 1 out. There's the radio booth. Greg and Bob working hard tonight.
Quite a collection there with Bob and Greg and Doran Check, the engineer, and the boss, Mark Garda. Watching over that barrel of monkeys over there.
Throw to first again. And Moyer hearing it from the crowd now.
Yeah, and could care less. You talk about somebody who used to have fun with that. Bob Walk used to do it just for the entertainment.
Well, there's the story that is told about one night in Montreal.
Yeah. The chicken factor.
Every time that a pitcher would throw over there, an opposing pitcher would throw to first at Olympic Stadium, up on the scoreboard, a chicken would appear with the accompanying audio. And he kept on throwing over to first to see how many chickens they could actually fit on that board.
Looked like a Purdue farm.
Well, 1 is high, 1 ball and 1 strike. And with as much attention as Moyer is paying to McCutchen, what does that do for his attention to the hitter?
Well, again, he's been around long enough, he keeps saying that, to be able to transfer. And you have to transfer from first base to home plate. And it has to be a total transfer. You can't be lingering with that guy at first base when you're delivering the pitch.
Millage hammers one deep to left field. If it stays fair, it's gone. It is foul.
Well, we told you Jamie has given up a bunch in his career, obviously, but he's given up 15 in his first 15 starts. And that record breaker, by the way, last start hit by Vernon Wells, set the record.
Millage.
And I do have a guess. I don't know if I'm allowed to make a guess or not. On the previous record holder, a guy that played for the Phillies and did great work in the Hall of Famer. So, you can give up home runs and still get in the Hall of Fame.
1-2 is inside. 2-2 to Hastings Millage.
The gentleman I'm thinking about just passed away all that long ago. A great pitcher. And by the way, one of the pioneers of the Major League Baseball players' pension plan, back when it was needed.
Strike 3.
And that's what Jamie Moyer will do. He'll add a little, subtract a little. He'll throw a little bit hard, a little bit soft. He'll be off-balance swings, not only in location, but speed. And that's why he's won over 250 ball games. Simple.
4 strikeouts now for Jamie Moyer.
He will create some awkward swings by changing speeds.
Certainly not going to overpower anybody. Dome it down the left field line. Foul. Well, Jamie has been asked, I think, in consecutive years, is this your last year? And he keeps saying that he doesn't know. He doesn't feel like he wants to quit. He said that last year could have been his last year. 5 years ago could have been his last year. But who knows? I mean, he's 47. He'll be 48 on the 18th of November.
He's in great shape. Ball fouled away. In fact, I asked him about the changes in his conditioning program from when he started till now, and he goes through that. He has a great perspective. You might not hear it, so I will give you just a little item. I said, what about goals? That 300 win thing way out in the distance there, but it's visible. Is that a goal? He said, my next start is my biggest goal. That's a perspective from a veteran.
He is the leader among active pitchers in wins with 267 of them. His next win would tie him with Jim Palmer for 34th place all time in wins. That guy's got a lot of wins. Roy Halladay. 6 complete games for him this year.
It's pretty
Not to mention a perfect game.
Yeah, pretty interesting tandem. Halladay and Moyer.
2 outs and an 0-2 count to Ryan Doman now. Roy Halladay, former Blue Jay.
And you know, Tim, they talk about Hall of Fame consideration and the objectivity that's supposed to be involved. Well, if it gets close, Jamie Moyer is going to get in because everybody loves him. And I mean, everybody respects him. And you want all the objectivity, but trust me, there's other emotions and feelings that I'm sure come into play.
1-2 the count. Keep an eye on McCutchen here. He stays put. There's a little roller. This is going to be a tough play for Dodds. He'll have no play, and it's a base hit for Ryan Doman.
The minute that ball trickled out that far, that was a base hit. Might as well go ahead and pick it up, give it back to the pitcher. Nothing you can do, and the Pirates keep it alive here in the bottom of the 4th. Little roller. Dies on the grass. All Greg can do is pick it up. Bobby Crosby with a big RBI last night. Part of that 3-2 win for sure. With the RBI single in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Love to see him do it again.
Crosby's been getting a lot of playing time. The only reason he sat out recently was due to concussion-like symptoms after colliding with Millage in right field at Wrigley Field. Just a couple of games. Yesterday came back fine. Neil Walker is expected to come back perhaps tomorrow. Still going to make a determination on him, and the team expects to have a decision by about 2 p.m. tomorrow on whether or not Neil has responded to everything he's supposed to respond to. He was out taking BP today, taking ground balls, doing all the work everybody else was. I talked to him yesterday, said he feels pretty good.
Jamie Moyer does not walk people. He's behind 3-0 here. As we said, previous to tonight, 15 starts, 17 free passes. As Charlie looks on, back in uniform tonight after the 1-game suspension.
3-1 now to Crosby. Andy LaRoche out on deck. First and second, 2 outs. A 3-1 count. Moyer's pitch. And that's ball 4, and the bases are full of Bucks. McCutchen down to third. Over to second is Doman. Charlie Manuel not really too worried. And as a skipper, and you got a guy with Moyer's experience out there, it's almost like having a coach on the mound. I mean, you really don't have to say too much to the guy except ask him how he's feeling, probably. Now ball 1 to Andy LaRoche.
Now you hope that you can get Jamie to make a mistake. Scuffling a little bit. Doesn't want to fall behind when he has to come into a better hitting area. He might be at that point right now.
Here's the 1-0. Got a strike.
To address that point you were just making, didn't Charlie Manuel come out in one of Halliday's games? And
it was in Philadelphia.
Just a brief, yeah, that was the 2-1 win.
Yes.
Just came out. You okay? Yep, okay. Enough said.
Back on the 18th of May.
Yep, the veterans will be honest with you most of the time.
LaRoche.
Not too far inside. He just got it in there where really basically all Andy could do was pull it foul. That ball was just running in on him. It's so hard not to pull that ball foul. You have to stay back further. The hands have to come way in. You almost have to inside out the ball down the left field line. Usually inside out balls the other direction.
Little number, third base side, could be trouble. Moyer throws, safe, and the ball is thrown away. McCutchen scores. Domick comes in to score. And into second base safely is Andy LaRoche. And the Pirates lead it 2-0.
There's the mistake. I was thinking about a pitching mistake, but that was the throwing mistake. And I still think that Jamie had him at first base if he makes an accurate throw, but that did not happen. And the Pirates break out with a break. Tough play. Moyer comes over. Has to go a long way. Close. It's going to be close at first base. Would have been very close, and the reason it was going to be close, Andy doesn't run all that well, but Jamie Moyer had to go a long way.
Ross Ollendorf pops this one to right, then Francisco underneath it. But the Pirates strike for 2 runs here in the 4th inning and give Ross Ollendorf a lead. McCutchen comes in to score, and Domick on the throwing error will come in. One of those runs earned, one unearned. And the Bucks on the board. And Safe Auto Insurance reminds you you're safe at home with Safe Auto, proudly supporting the Obadiah Cole Foundation for prostate cancer screening and awareness. Early detection is the cure.
Well, sometimes the runs come across in unusual ways. Just good hustle by Andy LaRoche to force the issue at first base. You say that because he creates traffic. It makes it more difficult. If he's not down there quickly enough, Ryan Howard can go find the ball, and he doesn't have to deal as much with the runner. Find the ball and go back and touch first base. But when the runner is right there, well, then it creates a lot of congestion. And I think Ryan Howard got kind of blocked by the runner coming at him, so he wasn't able to reach out and at least save that second run.
A couple of swinging bunts that inning, too. One by Domick, where he beat it out with the third baseman Dobbs playing him deep, and then LaRoche with the swinging bunt. Moyer trying to hurry it, threw it over into right field. Wilson Valdez 0 for 1, flat out deep to center field, first time up. Pitch outside. Ball 2. Top of the 5th inning, 2-0. Pirates and Ross Ollendorf pitching with the lead.
That could be it, Ross. There's your 2 runs. Go get them. It has been a struggling offense this year.
There's a base hit by Valdez. And he is taking a big turn, and then we'll put the brakes on. Leadoff single for the second baseman for the Phillies.
He has had some pretty impressive at-bats for a guy that's bounced around, not all that big, not known to be a big producer, big bopper, big offensive player, but the monster home run last night. Fly ball that had a lot of carry, his first at bat, and now the base hit.
Valdez started with the Expos. He's been with the White Sox, Mariners, Padres, Dodgers. I mentioned his year in Asia, splitting it between Korea and Japan, and has also been with the Mets. That was last year. Dane Sardina had a base hit first time up in the 3rd inning, 1 for 1, batting .263, and 2 out of 4 since replacing Brian Schneider after the 3rd inning last night.
That's a balk. Oh boy.
Stepped off.
Did he step off?
I hope he did.
That got my attention. That looked very awkward.
And Brian Onora heading to the All-Star game, by the way, as part of the umpiring crew.
He must have stepped off. My heart skipped a beat.
The umpire's wearing the holiday hats too. There's a ground ball towards second. Crosby flips to LaRoche for 1. Back to first, double play.
Nicely done by Bobby and by Andy LaRoche, who had to turn his back to first base because Crosby was up in back of him. That's nicely done. Both ways. Bobby Crosby's going to have to go up and back of second base right there. See, Andy, he's got his back turned toward first base. Makes the pivot. Good, strong, accurate throw right back. Opposite to where he's looking. That's nice.
Good looking turn for a guy who's only started 5 games at second base in the big leagues. 3 with the Pirates, 2 with the Dodgers back in 2008. Crosby, a very experienced shortstop, having been the Rookie of the Year in the American League in 2004 with Oakland.
And all of a sudden, you've got a little problem that started in the top of the 5th extinguished. Whole different look now. 2 outs and the pitcher up there.
Moyer sacrificed Sardina over to second base in the 3rd inning. That's strike 2. LaRoche, along with Neil Walker, working on the pivot at second base with infield coach Carlos Garcia.
Working on the footwork. If you have to go back from the base or go across the base.
Working on that very play today with the back to the first base back.
No, that's the way it should work. I mean, you're in the big leagues, but you still can learn, especially when you're working on new positions. You come out to the ballpark early, you got all day playing a night game.
1-2, he got him. No runs, a hit, that's it. We're halfway home, middle of the 5th. Ross Ollendorf and the Pirates lead it 2-0.
Strikes out, a little frustration with the bat. Replace everything. Take about 7 steps, pick up the glove and the hat, and winds up being the first Philly out on the field. That's how he operates.
And he was the first guy out there by a long way. The next guy was the first baseman, Ryan Howard. He was the only Philly Moyer was on the field. And he had just come from home plate where he struck out. It was amazing to watch his hustle and how much he really loves the game. Top of the strike 2. Jose 0 for 2. Trying to find his way aboard against Jamie Moyer tonight. Fly to right, struck out. And the 0-2 coming. Strike 3 called. And Tabata has struck out twice, and he is 0 for 3. Well, last inning we asked you our AT&T Mobility trivia question. And to do with Jamie Moyer, he's given up 506 career home runs, the record. And who held the record previously? And your guess is correct, Steve.
Robin Roberts.
Robin Roberts. 9 seasons of 30 or more home runs allowed. And part of the reason was he pitched every inning.
Right, and he threw a lot of strikes.
Ryan Howard to Moyer, and Pedro Alvarez has quickly retired for out number 2. And the 506th home run came off the bat of Toronto's Vernon Wells. That was at Philadelphia when Toronto was the home team to the G20 Summit, taking over the city of Toronto and moved that series to Philadelphia. And after that home run, Jamie Moyer said, Robin Roberts is laughing at me somewhere.
Yep. Robin Roberts was the master of the fastest fastball that he would throw each night if he got to 2 strikes. That's Robin Roberts, number 36, being honored. They said with 2 strikes, Robin Roberts could reach back and get it and get more.
McCutchen lays off that one. 3 balls and no strikes.
Roberts probably would have been real proud of Jamie in 2004 when he gave up 44. Taters.
They had a 4-pitch walk, and McCutchen is aboard for the 3rd time in the ballgame. This time with 2 men out, he jaunts down the first. We'll invite you to celebrate the 4th of July here at PNC Park when the Pirates host the Phillies this Sunday. Family Fun Zone pregame on Federal Street. Kids get to run the bases postgame thanks to HK Pretzels. DJ Carrasco likes that. All kids 14 and under will receive a Stars and Stripes Parrot Build-A-Bear courtesy of Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. Tickets, Pirates.com. Get that youngster back. He's got the Cleveland cap on and a Phillies jersey. You grew up a Cleveland fan.
I did. Young man's kind of caught in between here in Cleveland.
Can't be tired yet. It's only the bottom of the 5th. Jones looks at a strike. They were talking about Robin Roberts. 305 complete games. When you're in that many games and pitching that many innings, you're going to give up some home runs, and he ended up giving up 505. There goes McCutchen. The throw down, not nearly in time. An easy steal for Andrew McCutchen. That's his 20th stolen base.
And that's why you wind up having 9 out of 10 against Jamie. You guessed right. And when you guess right, no contest. Look at that. Maybe 5 or 6 steps for a fast man before the ball is released. Stop the fight. It's that 20 mark. 1 stolen base mark.
And Jones rolls this one foul up the right side, so he still has a chance to drive in a run.
You talk about those complete games. You take a look at the Robin Roberts of the world, the Gaylord Perrys of the world, the Warren Spahns of the world.
609 starts. 305 of those were complete games, so half of his starts he finished.
And it seems fitting to honor the memory of Robin Roberts, one of the best.
Jamie Moyer gets a new baseball. Hopefully one that satisfies him this time. Didn't like the last one.
He doesn't waste much time. He likes to go about his business. Those types of pitchers don't like delays of any kind. Give me the ball. Let's find out. Let's find out who's going to be best.
Here's the 1-2. Inside. 2-2. Pirates trying to add another against Jamie Moyer with 2 outs here in the 5th. Jones 0 for 2. Leads the club in RBIs with 47. Hasn't homered in a while. .21 of his 31 home runs with the Pirates are solo home runs. Moyer ready to go, and the 2-2 coming up. Strike 3 called, and Jones down on strikes for the 2nd time tonight. Through 5, it is a 2-0 lead for the Pirates. Back at PNC Park with Steve Blass, I'm Tim Neverett. 2-0. The Pirates with the lead as we start the top half of the 6th inning. In the top of the order, up against Ross Ollendorf, Jimmy Rollins. First ball swinging, fouls it back.
And another first pitch strike. And Ross has been doing that all night. Nice to be out in front, 0-1.
Rollins 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch. Takes outside.
You know, in the last 5 games before tonight, Pirates starting pitchers have gone 3-1 with a 1.11 ERA. Ross Ollendorf has done nothing to hurt that particular statistic.
Again, Ross's last outing on Sunday against Oakland, his best of the season. Didn't get a win to show for it. Got a bad throw to first base that ended up haunting him. 2 other errors by the defense haunted him as well.
Ironic that tonight the opposing pitcher has a bad throw to first base to help him.
Right, the error on Jamie Moyer in the 4th inning. McCutchen had scored on the ground ball by LaRoche, and then the error allowed Domet to come in. Jimmy Rollins, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ropes this one foul. Rollins isn't running like he used to due to the leg injuries that have slowed him a little this year. He's bound to catch up after the All-Star break. 3-2.
Yeah, there was a note in the Philly notes about the Phillies having a very high success percentage stealing, but they're way down toward the bottom of the heap in terms of total number of steals. When they go, they usually are successful.
3-2. Ground ball to short. Crosby gobbles it up and he throws out Jimmy Rollins. And there is one away. That's the Coors Light 6th inning. Time to check out tonight's freeze can. We look back to the 3rd inning and ouch, watch out. Jimmy Rollins getting it on the helmet right there. And that's the Coors Light freeze can. Brought to you by Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. One out for Raul Ibanez. Strike one call.
I'll tell you, I don't know what the numbers are this deep in the game, but Ross Ollendorf has been throwing those first pitch strikes all night long.
72 total pitches so far for Ross. Ibanez hits this one deep to right field. It's going over the head of Millage, off the wall. Around first and into second base with a stand-up double is Raul Ibanez.
Well, Ibanez just went downstairs, as a lot of left-hand hitters like to do, and just took that ball downstairs and gave it the lift. And gave it a big-time ride out toward the 375 sign. Look at how low this pitch is. That's what the lefties like to do. They like to go down and do the lift program, and bounces it off the score, or the padded fence, and action for the Phils.
325th career double for Ibanez, his 16th this year. Ibanez now 1 for 3. Jason Worth at the plate. Worth represents the tying run for Philadelphia.
And are still dealing at 91 miles an hour as the folks that made the trip over from Philly trying to get their ball club going here. See what the Pirate fans and Ross Ollendorf have to say and do about that.
Worth way out in front. Well, a note on pitching tonight. Pirates starter Ross Ollendorf delivers this one. And how about that two-seamer he throws, that sinker? And when you see ground balls, it's typically off that sinker.
Yep. First pitch is a 91-mile-an-hour fastball, and then something other than that. It was 80 miles an hour, so I don't know if it's all the way down to a changeup, but it was nicely delivered down and in. Might have had a little downward movement on it. You can turn over a changeup too, and you can take enough speed off to qualify as a changeup. You roll that hand over the top of the ball, you're going to get a little sink action, a little down and into a right-hand batter. See, and then you come right back. There's a nice sequence. 91, 80, and then 91 again.
That's what you mean by adding and subtracting.
Mm-hmm. Add, subtract, and he added. Let's see what he does here. Let's see how Ryan Doumit sets up. Might tip us off a little bit. Back inside.
And he strikes out.
He actually didn't quite throw it where Ryan wanted it, but it was a nice location. But if that was a setup, it was beautifully done. It looked like Ryan wanted to come back inside.
That's 6 strikeouts now for Ollendorf, equaling his season high.
Good mustard on that one.
Ross had 6 strikeouts on the 31st of May against the Cubs.
Yeah, that's the look I like right there. It shows you the entire package, the whole look, pitcher and batter. Good fastball, set up inside, but he had some mustard on the outside corner. Nicely done.
Ross also struck out 6 Tigers at Detroit on the 11th of June. 2 outs for Ryan Howard. Howard a base hit in the 4th.
And you have a tendency to think you're going to be real careful here because this guy could tie the ball game up with one swing. You got first base open and a guy in the on-deck circle who does not have a home run.
And Francisco. 1-0 to Howard. In the dirt, gets away, going down to third. The throw, not in time, and Ibanez safe at third.
I hold my breath in those kind of situations because it didn't look, from my vantage point, like Ryan had much of a chance to get him at third base. And sometimes you get some traffic down there, you can get a ball that's thrown down the left field line, and all of a sudden there's a run up on the board. But I think a good thing for Pedro to come down in front of third base, so the runner was behind him, so that that unwound any potential congestion. A little heads up play by knowing there wasn't a play, make sure you got the throw. That's what Pedro did.
And the shift this time a little bit different defensively. Still LaRoche playing in right field.
You going to finish this off? I would think so. Yeah. First walk issued by Ross, and it's an intentional one.
So now the tying run aboard with 2 down.
But you're on the other side of Ryan Howard,
which is normally a good thing.
Yep. And nothing automatic, certainly. Francisco is certainly capable of doing good things with the bat. And Joe Kerrigan wants to talk to as many people that will come over and join the meeting.
Well, talking about pitching, Steve, right-hander Charlie Morton has been returned from his rehab assignment and reinstated from the disabled list, and has been optioned to AAA Indianapolis, and he will start for Indy on Sunday. So Charlie Morton back from the right shoulder fatigue, taken off the DL and optioned to AAA. I'm not sure when we'll see Charlie. He had a real rough start this year, certainly one he didn't expect. He's had a couple of real nice rehab starts, and now will join Indy for the time being.
And now Ross Ohlendorf needs a huge out here in the top of the 6th inning. Huge out.
2-0 Pirates. 2 on and 2 out of the pitch. Francisco laid off that one. Ball 1. Francisco grounded to Crosby at short in the 2nd, and then flied to Millage in right field in the 4th. 0 for 2. Very close. 2 balls, no strikes.
Just a little outside.
Ohlendorf's 2-0. On drive to right, here comes Millage. He dives and makes a sensational catch. Highway robbery in right field. Lastings Millage takes one away from Ben Francisco and saves a run. Outstanding defensive work by the Pirate right fielder, Lastings Millage. How do you like that?
think possible. And by Day Automotive, we're going to make your day.
Lastings Millage leading off the bottom of the 6th.
Who else?
Mr. Excitement.
You know, if he doesn't catch that ball, you've got a chance to have a tie ball game.
Yes,
He's
sir.
flat down on his belly, and that ball is moving, and everybody else is also.
That chopper to short, and Jimmy Rollins takes care of Lastings Millage. Quickly one away in the Pirate half of the 6th. Let's take a look at our Aspen Dental play that made you smile. I have a guess I know which one it is. Right off the bat of Ben Francisco. And more thrillage in the village for Lastings Millage. That's our Aspen Dental play that made you smile.
You can see he was flat down on the deck, and they would have kept running. Ryan Howard doesn't run all that well, but he's got a chance in that position that Lastings was in. Committed the body, made the commitment, and I got a big circle around that as a potential, big time potential, probable, hopeful game saver.
And you saw Joe Kerrigan on the phone, and now you start thinking about the Pirate bullpen. You've got Ollendorf Spot coming up here in a little while.
He's only like, I think, in the mid 80s in a pitch count.
Right. He's gone through 6 already. And it looks like a little bit of stirring going on. And
well, they're not calling for a pizza,
no.
That's for sure.
Ray Searage on the other end of the phone. Chase that one outside, 2-2.
You got all kind of scenarios. Straight scenario that he comes out and on he goes. Might be telling you you're out there till a runner gets on. That's always a possibility. And you go to the bullpen, you let him start the inning, or you make the change now. Kind of possibilities. But nothing not to like about Ross Ollendorf tonight. 6 scoreless, 4 hits, and he's got a couple big outs when he's needed to. And got some big time help from his right fielder.
Payoff pitch. We'll get another one.
I remember getting some help from the right fielder way back in the day.
Yeah, number 21.
Yeah, he did some pretty good work.
They named the wall after him out there. And a bridge. And a park. And
some schools around. Some books written about him. But he would have liked that play that Lastings made right there. He would have loved it.
Again, the 3-2 from Moyer. Strike 3 call, and Domet down on strikes for the second time tonight looking. Ball just sneaks over off the hand of Jamie Moore.
Kind of cutter or slider perhaps, maybe a fastball just in on the hands. Ryan kind of sneaking out, maybe looking for something out of the way, got something in, locked him up. So Jamie Moore does a lot of.
Bobby Crosby batting with 2 outs. Looks at a breaking ball low. How about the arm angle that Moyer delivers the ball with? Is that particularly tough on right-handers?
I think the changing of speeds and locations is a couple. There are a couple of factors that are more important because he doesn't throw that hard, so he doesn't fool you all that much. And even if you don't see it all that way, you've got some time to react, pick the ball up, follow it in.
Popped up, back of the plate and out of play. That'll be strike 2 for Crosby. Ross Ollendorf.
Doesn't look like he's going anywhere yet.
Nope.
Got a 4-hit shutout working. It doesn't seem like much, but if you can get your starter instead of 6 scoreless to go 7 scoreless or 7 effective innings, it just psychologically feels like you're closer to the finish line. There's a pitch that misses, needing 6 outs instead of 9. You're after 6 innings, that's just 2/3 of the ball game. But now you get that 7th one in your pocket, that 7th inning. Now, okay, we just got 2 innings to go. It's just a different feel, and it's a big effect on your bullpen.
Crosby foul tips it into the glove of Sardina. Another strikeout for Jamie Moyer. Bucks lead it 2-0 going to the 7th. here tonight.
Big man's been dealing a lot of at-bats where he's out in front early, gotten outs when he's needed, and he has still kept the Phillies off the board through 6.
6 strikeouts for Ohlendorf.
The
85
line,
pitches.
the line looking good.
He will face Greg Dobbs, the third baseman. Strike 1, and then off goes the mask of Domet for the 3rd time tonight.
Oh, man.
That just has to hurt. Got it squarely right in the middle.
Yeah, let's go back. That's just the tip of the iceberg. I guess they waived the 3 knockdown rule.
Oh, 1. Yeah, no, you're tough if you're from Moses Lake, Washington.
I'll tell you one. He might be hearing the voices right now, and he might be answering them.
Dobbs fouls it back for strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Brian Schneider last night, he got hurt, but it wasn't off the mask. It was off of his glove. Hyperextended his left thumb. Catching a pitch from Cole Hamels. David Herndon now, right-hander, loosening up for Philadelphia.
Yes, he did.
And he is rung up. Chris Guccione at 3rd. Brings him up, and a new season high in strikeouts for Ross Ohlendorf at 7th.
Can't lay off this delivery downstairs. From a side angle. Well, there's again one of those classic examples of the call you sometimes get and sometimes you don't. This time it goes the Pirates' way.
A foul tip by Valdez. The most strikeouts Ross has had in his career in a single game was last September 5th against the St. Louis Cardinals. He had 11 strikeouts.
He probably won't get that chance tonight.
Had 3 in 1 inning on 9 pitches. Remember that?
Yep. Yes, I do. Jammed him.
Ground ball. Alvarez got him. No, he didn't. Got away. Pedro Alvarez throwing that one away, and Valdez is aboard.
Well, and it was Pedro's play because Bobby Crosby had too far to come in. That ball was a jam shot, and it's Pedro's responsibility to cut off that ball in front of the shortstop. So he does that, gets it, turns it loose, and then just catches a flyer on the home plate side of first base.
And that'll be
a hit?
Yeah, that'll be scored, an infield hit. It looks like a good throw would have had it.
Wow, I was surprised.
So they've given Wilson Valdez the benefit of the doubt. And he is aboard with a 1-out single.
Just for Ross's benefit, I want to take another look at that play.
And there goes Valdez. He had a great jump. No chance for Domet. Stole that one completely off the pitcher, Ohlendorf.
Yeah, taking a look at the play that Valdez reached first base on. I don't know if he got a different kind of an angle or not. He cuts across. He does everything right to that point.
Good throw would have had him.
We have differing opinions, but maybe degree of difficulty comes into play.
0-1 the count to Sardina. Ohlendorf will look back at second base. Well, I want to invite all the Pirates fans to a chat online with Pirates President Frank Coonley Wednesday, July 7th, 2 p.m. on Pirates.com. We'll answer your questions live, and all you need to do is log on to Pirates.com. Anytime after 1:30 in the afternoon to start submitting your questions. Don't miss an opportunity to get your questions answered by the Bucs president, Frank Coonley. Wednesday, July 7th, 2 p.m. on Pirates.com.
Ross out in front 0-2. He may have to get this batter out to stay in the ballgame. See how it plays out. Jamie Moyer will not be staying in the ballgame. It'd be nice to see a nice tidy 7-inning program from Ross, but he needs to get this man, and he does. Back upstairs, 91, and that's a little adrenaline right there to go back upstairs and still collect that kind of speed.
Strikeout number 8. Right by him.
Victorino will hit for Moyer.
Victorino has faced Ross Ollendorf 6 times prior to this at bat and has struck out twice. He's 0 for 6 against him. Struck out looking to win the ball game last night. And Charlie Manuel trying to give him a break. He's been struggling on this road trip. And right now he comes up representing the tying run in the top half of the 7th inning. Wilson Valdez, the runner at second base. There's a ground ball to first. Jones handles it, and Ross gets out of the inning. Ollendorf is through 7. It's stretch time here at PNC Park. 2-0 Pirates. With Steve Blass, I'm Tim Neverett. Glad you're along tonight. Watching Pirates baseball. Ross Ollendorf struck out 8 through 7 innings of work. Nice crowd on hand tonight to watch it. Game 2 of a 4-game series on this holiday weekend. And a new pitcher on for the Philadelphia Phillies, David Herndon.
Rule 5 acquisition by the Phillies from the Los Angeles Angels. Turned out quite well, that acquisition. Phillies are hoping that he'll be a Rule 5 acquisition that turns out as well for them as Evan Meek has turned out to this point for the Pirates.
Evan Meek's been absolutely outstanding. Last night was very, very good. One of his better outings. Andy LaRoche leads off.
Jimmy Moyer goes 6 innings, giving up a couple runs, one of which was earned. 5 hits, he walked 2 and struck out 8. He's on the hook because Ollendorf has been that good.
Strike 2 to Andy. LaRoche had a base hit and an RBI in the 4th.
It's officially over for Ross as we see Ronnie Cedeno in the on-deck circle.
to Wilson Valdez at second. 1 out. Let's take a look now at our Barrel Automotive League leaders. Talking about bullpen ERA. Evan Meek, minimum 30 innings pitched. Meek leads baseball with an ERA of 0.98 after last night's outing. Arthur Rhodes up there, Billy Wagner, Johnny Venters, and Ryan Webb, but it's Meek, the leader in Major League Baseball in that category. Barrel Automotive, definitely worth the click at barrel.com. Well, Cedeno pinch hitting, and he takes a strike. See Joel Hanrahan loosening up. 0-1. That one's outside. One ball, one strike to Ronnie Cedeno. Right-hander Herndon delivers, and Cedeno bangs a foul. Cedeno has been struggling with the bat as of late. Trying to break out of it here in a pinch hitting role. Second time he's pinch hit this season. He's 0 for 1 as a pinch hitter. This one to shallow left toward the line. Ibanez grabs it for the out. 2 away. Good time right now to look at our easy-to-use.com minor league connection. See what's happening down on the farm tonight. 2-2, top of the 7th. Columbus and Indianapolis. Argenis Diaz 1 for 1 tonight. The shortstop has a double. 3-0 Altoona leading Reading. Keep an eye on Rudy Owens. And at the top of the 7th, Charlotte with a 3-0 lead over Bradenton in the Florida State League. Tabata is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts, looking for his first hit. Pirates hanging on to that 2-0 lead. We did see Brendan Donnelly up throwing in the bullpen earlier, but he is now sat down, and Joel Hanrahan is the guy. Tabata, there's a strike on him there, 1-2.
Joel kind of had a semi night off last night. He's been loosening up and or being used in several games prior to last night's contest, so Evan Meek probably went that second inning because of that.
Strike 3, and for the 3rd time tonight, Tabata goes down on strikes. Pirates done in order in the 7th. Rollins, Ibanez, and Worth in the 8th. Heading to the top of the 8th inning at PNC Park. Beautiful shot of downtown coming into the ball yard tonight. 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Pirates. 0-5-1 the line for the Phillies. And now on to pitch is right-hander Joel Hanrahan as Hanrahan takes over for Ross Olendor.
He went 7 scoreless, giving up 5 hits. He walked a batter. It was an intentional walk and struck out a terrific outing as the starting pitching role continues. Starters have been doing their job, and now Hanrahan, who has a little string of pearls of his own working, made 8 straight scoreless appearances, covering 8 innings. Ronnie Cedeno, the new shortstop, as Crosby moves over from short to second.
Facing Jimmy Rollins, pitch inside for a ball. Hanrahan pitched 2 games ago in Chicago on Wednesday when the Pirates would win 2-0. Pitched a perfect 8th, striking out 2. 1-0 pitch to Rollins to the right side.
Easy.
1 away. Let's take a look at the road ahead. Brought to you by Toyota and your Western Pennsylvania Toyota dealers. Toyota moving forward tomorrow, 6:30 pregame start right here on FSN. 1 o'clock on Sunday. Monday is a travel day, meaning that the Pirates will be on from the road in Houston Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 7:30, 7:30, and 1:30. Like father, like son. One had a little more hair, but not that much more.
No. Well, this is what I was trying to explain. It's hard. It's almost like a field that you go to your bullpen with just 2 innings to hopefully get out of them instead of 3. 3 to me is a stretch. 2 almost just seems to be more comfortable. Take your time. Wow.
Making it look hard, but the effect is the same.
Wow. That's double anxiety. Hanrahan trying to get a handle on the ball, and then Hanrahan trying to throw it correctly to Garrett at first base. Far too much excitement for a little tapper back to the mound. The bobble, the bare hand, and then the sinker. I don't want to look at this. You
don't want to see it?
Say whatever you want.
Well, Steve loves this play.
Just tell me that he's out again.
He's out again. No matter how many times you look at it, he's going to be out.
Yeah, good. Then we'll not show that. Low, make sure, and Pete, make sure.
Strike is called to Jason Worth. Pretty good play by Jones. No balls, 1 strike, 2 down. Just missed outside. 1 ball, 1 strike count. You get nervous?
Yeah, and I'll tell you one other thing. 30,339. We're a little nervous too. The Phillies fans got excited and then took it away.
Worth a liner toward left, and Tabata grabs it. 1, 2, 3. Go the Phillies on just 7 pitches by Joel Hanrahan. tonight's game. Our team is standing by with extended highlights and analysis of this game. Plus, get honest answers to your Buccos questions when you ask T. The AGH Sports Medicine Pirates postgame is next on FSN. Kids having a good time tonight. Great time to come out to the ballpark on this holiday weekend.
I've seen a good one.
A real good one. Pirates will be looking at a new pitcher. As you see Romero, the left-hander, is on.
Herndon goes a scoreless inning, striking out one. Pirates putting on a good show in front of 30,000 plus, and that's been a continuing theme. If they hold on to this one, it would be 5-0 with crowds of 30,000 plus. And dig your heels in, because there's going to be at least that many tomorrow night. So let's keep this little string working.
Just quickly, news on Zach Duke. It was announced tonight that he's going to make his first rehab start Monday with AA Altoona. So Duke will be on the trail of recovery. Perhaps one or two, more than likely 2 rehab starts. Pedro Alvarez, a 5-game hitting streak, takes ball 1 from the left-hander J.C. Romero. Two and 0. Joel Hanrahan, by the way, Steve, has been absolutely sensational coming out of the bullpen.
Yeah, he's got that string going now. But if it's just 1 inning, 9 straight appearances, covering 9 innings, scoreless appearances.
2-0 is high. In Chicago, I was talking with John Graybo of the Cubs, who just went on the DL. And I said, why do you think it is the Pirates have the Cubs number this year? He quickly responded by saying, it's the bullpen. He said once they get a lead late in the ball game, they just shut teams down.
Green light here? No. Well, it's been a strong bullpen, and there's one of the leading characters right there. Evan Meek has been lights out. Hanrahan doing the job. Dotel, 17 saves now?
He is up and throwing in the pen now. Swing and a miss. And Alvarez now full count, 3-2.
You'll never make that mistake, will you? Ever. Up throwing, not throwing up in the
bullpen.
bullpen.
Up and throwing. No. He's not throwing up in the bullpen. That would be a whole different story entirely.
Hey, different guys get ready different ways.
Breaking news. Payoff is swung on. That's strike 3, and Alvarez down on strikes. 1 away for the Pirates in the bottom half of the 8th. Hanrahan, a good job. Second straight outing. He's got the side out in order. Andrew McCutchen, 2 base hits and a walk. He's been on base all 3 times. Raised his average up to 302. Again, just for safety's sake, you want to go on Pirates.com, and you can still vote for the 34th man on the All-Star team. It's the fans' vote. Shane Victorino won it in the National League last year on the online vote. Go in there and click off some votes for Andrew McCutchen or even Evan Meek. How about the dreadlocked parrot tonight?
He always has something in his bag of props and tricks. He does a whale of a job. He really does.
And he's got the skull cap, too. See the skull cap on last week's match?
Yeah.
The Pirate has his own skull cap now. And that's a new thing. They call it a do-rag back in your playing day, Steve?
No. You're getting just like walk now. You're walking on thin ice.
There's a strike, 3-2. Well, I could have said back in the 70s. If I had said back in the 70s, it would have been more kind, right?
It would have been.
Ground ball left side. Rollins with a backhand. Long throw. He just barely gets him. Ryan Honora punches him out. There are 2 away. Close play at first.
I'll tell you, Andrew got there, he was flying. Carlos Garcia not liking it. John Russell not liking it. McCutchen not liking it.
And John Russell's going to come out and tell Brian O'Nora that he doesn't like it.
Thousands here in this building don't like it. John coming out to protect his player. You can't do anything about the decision.
It's a strong throw either way by Rollins. Bang, bang at first. Now, well, you can see why McCutchen wasn't convinced he was out. Just a close play. John Russell with an extended argument with Brian O'Nora. He stays in the game and makes his way back to the third base dugout. This will be a good look here.
Andrew, the ball. The ball is somewhere. I'm wondering if they were arguing that he might have had his foot off the base. Carlos Garcia probably had as good a look at the play as Brian O'Nora did.
Carlos usually has the best look from the first base coach's box.
Right there.
1-0 the count. 2 down, nobody on. Romero's pitch. That's a strike. One more look.
Yeah, whether you like the call or not, check out the speed.
Seems like he's got it.
He's got it in time. I think the argument was if he's maintaining contact, because the throw did get there in time.
Jones has faced Romero twice in his career. He's 1 for 2, and that one was a solo home run.
A lot of pitching going on. Just 5 hits for each ball club and 1 scoring situation in the entire ball game.
To second base, Valdez throws out Jones, and the Pirates gone in the 8th. To the top of the 9th we go. Pirates up 2-0. Valdez in the 3rd inning, his first at bat, led off with a bomb to the deepest part of the ballpark and got the Phillies on the board. That's the cold hard blast brought to you by Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. The Octavia Hotel has come on to try to slam the door on the Phillies. Pirates with a 2-0 lead, each team with 5 hits. And he will face Ryan Howard, Ben Francisco, and Greg Dobbs. Those are the scheduled hitters.
So he's got 1 more run to work with than he did last night. But still, not a lot to work with. 2 spot for the Pirates in the 4th. Tainted to some degree. 1 run earned, 1 unearned. And the Pirates really didn't knock the ball out of the ballpark in that inning. A couple of swinging bunts involved in the 2-spot. And that's the only scoring tonight.
Well, a very impressive number that talks about the success of the Pirates' pen this year. When the team is leading after 8 innings, their record is 21-0. See if Dotel can pick up his 18th save here. Ryan Howard is 1 for 2. He was intentionally walked in the 6th, had a base hit in the 4th. Shift is on for him, and he takes a ball. See Crosby, the second baseman, now out in right field. Cedeno in the second base position, and Alvarez over on the shortstop side of second base. 2-0 to Howard. Ross Ollendorf tonight, an excellent outing.
And he is suffering the way every starter suffers until that W is posted. When you're in line for the win, different ways you get through the late innings. Some guys pace, some guys go back to the clubhouse, some guys hang on the railing.
Dotel hasn't found a strike yet. 3 balls, no strikes.
And you don't want to bring the tying run up to the plate. I think that's pretty obvious.
3-0, and he gets the strike. Dotel back to the count with Ryan Howard. Little ground ball right side.
English
foul ball.
That had a lot of spin on it. That was trying to get back into fair territory.
I think Garrett let it wait an extra bounce down there to see if it would.
Yeah, and you know, if Abner Doubleday had just lengthened it out a little bit, maybe 110 feet, he might have got an out right there instead of 90 feet.
What do you think your ERA would have been had he made it 110 feet?
Better.
That would have affected a lot of guys. That would have affected every guy.
Yeah, maybe move the mound in 12, 15 feet, stretch out the base paths.
Full count to Ryan Howard. Octavio Dotel's payoff pitch fouled away.
A whole different feel when you face Ryan Howard when he's not the potential tying run. I mean, you got wiggle room, so it helps a little bit knowing that if he runs into one, you're still ahead.
Up in the air to right field, right center. McCutchen wants it. He's got it. 1 out. Let's check out in case you missed it. Brought to you by Mazda. Ryan Ludwig might go on the 15-day DL for the Cardinals. Reds had 5 players with 2 runs batted in today. Cubs beaten 12-0 by Cincinnati. Dallas Braden of the A's. That's his next start, possibly going on the DL. And Jason Varitek on the DL now, broken right foot. Red Sox have all kinds of injury issues right now. And a strike called to Ben Francisco.
Nice to be on the other side of Ryan Howard, whether he represents the tying run or not.
Well, nice to come back from a 3-0 count to do it.
Yes.
0-1. Strike 2. That slider down and away. Nothing in 2 to Francisco. To left field. Jose Tabata for the second out.
And that's a classic example of a young left fielder adjusting to the big left field. He went back and he thought he had enough, and then he's wondering if he's got more room, and then he gave a few more steps, realizing that he had plenty of room.
Now they're up. 30,000 plus on their feet.
Let's join them.
Even the dreaded Parrot.
I see some Philly fans that are not on it.
Ball 1 to Greg Dobbs. Dobbs is 0 for 3. And the cheers of "Let's Go Bucks" encircling PNC Park. 1 out. 2 balls, no strikes.
Well, you do have to give it to the Philly fans. They have had a lot to cheer about the last couple of years.
No doubt.
They followed their team over here, spending the weekend in Pittsburgh.
2 National League pennants and a World Series title over the last 2 years.
Amen.
To center field, going back on it. McCutchen, he's got it. And the Pirates have taken the first 2 games. They've won 3 in a row. Ross Ohlendorf gets his first win of 2010, and boy, does he deserve it. Octavio Dotel, his 18th save.
And the Pittsburgh Pirates just keep on pitching. Just keep on pitching.
Well, congrats to Ross Ohlendorf on an outstanding night, striking out a season-high 8, going 7 innings. And Octavio Dotel and Joel Hanrahan retiring 6 in a row.
And actually having to outpitch Jamie Moyer, who certainly pitched well enough to win most nights, but when your team doesn't score, you don't win. And when the Pirates don't give up any runs, they have to win. Good one tonight. 2 well-pitched ball games, first 2 games of the homestand.
Well, he can run that flag up the flagpole now. And that'll do it for tonight's game coverage. Our next telecast of Pirates baseball tomorrow night from PNC Park when the Phils and Pirates play Game 3. Paul Mahalan will take on Kyle Kendrick. Our coverage starts with the Trip Total Media Pirates pregame show at 6:30. Then Greg and Bob will have the call at 7. For Steve Blass, I'm Tim Neverett. 2-0 shutout win. Pirates beat the Phillies. Pirates postgame coming up next.